Greetings, greetings. This is Iyanda with theFlowering Tarot, and I am here to do a reading. We are going to call this reading As the Smoke Clears. That is what I was given as I was preparing to come on. So, however that applies to you, I'm aware of the fact that many of us have been going through our own cloudy seasons, the time of not being fairly clear of our direction, even not being able to decipher messages that we were receiving, and just not sure how things would turn out, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shuffle out 3 different groups here, and we're going to keep in mind that what we're looking for is insight and guidance about, now that we're coming out of the smog period, we can kind of see a little clearly. We have more light in our path, but it's still uncertain. So what we're looking at is just as this all clears down, we've come out with a little more strength, courage, just a little more faith in ourselves. What's coming next, okay? So I decided that what I'm going to start with is just getting like the subject, and I'll do 3 subjects here. So if you like, you can go ahead and just hold 1, 2, or 3 in you, or just go ahead and listen through all of the messages if you like. And I just want to send so many thanks to all of you who have been commenting, who have stayed supportive while I have kind of been MIA. There have been tons of things going on, and and I'm just grateful for those of you who kind of surprised me with a comment on a video, or just sent me a message letting me know that you were thinking about me, that you were looking forward to more videos. So now that I kind of got my feet under me a little bit, I'm grateful to come and do this for you. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what our 3 subjects are going to be and build on them throughout this video. Spirit, what do we want to talk about regarding the after period, the after storm, the settling, the clearing of smoke? All right, we got something here. We got exactly 3 cards, so I'm going to go just like this. We got the Page of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Chariot. Okay. Okay. So for group 1, or for the first message, there was a waiting period. I feel like some of you felt like the term sitting duck is coming up during this time, where you were kind of stuck looking at something that had taken place. And I feel like it was very more on the emotional end, more on the maybe you're dealing with your own emotions, or even just a romantic situation. But I do feel like you were just stuck there looking at what had taken place, and although you were trying, I feel like you may not have been as successful as you would have liked with putting your focus somewhere else. Okay, so it just feels like while this is your struggle during this time, or what was causing you kind of like to stay I guess in the cloud or in the smoke, or kind of lack clarity, was just the fact that you just couldn't get yourself out of focusing on this thing that had happened, this thing that had taken place. Okay, and although it's funny, because her feet are just barely, they're just sitting in water, like the water's only up to her ankles, So it just feels like although you in your internal world may have felt overwhelmed, the situation was not as significant as your emotional self was telling you. Your emotional body was responding in a way that was greater than the situation really called for. Okay? So we're going to build up on this Page of Cups. You know, it does feel, you know, perhaps you were one of the people who was waiting for an apology. You know, you're like, I'll get over it when I get an apology, you know, or when I get closure, I'll be able to move on. It's very difficult, you know, to be in that energy, which, and I'm not saying it's wrong, because a lot of us do feel like if we were to just have some answers, you know, that it would make it a little more, that it would make it easier to move forward. But the Page of Cups, or these people outside of us, are not what we should be depending upon for resolution. Sometimes we get that and sometimes we don't. But either way, we have to be able to process through it and move forward, okay? And this is our challenge, you know. This is our challenge. When we're met with situations that don't offer us the closing, don't offer us everything that's needed for us to move forward, we have to pull it from within, okay? Or, you know, connect with spirit and count on spirit to give it to us, okay? So if you have been waiting on a person, you know, an apology, or, you know, for someone to realize their faults in the situation, it's important, I'm hearing, you know, it's important for you to realize that the forgiveness, the focus, the shifting of your focus is beneficial to you. It's beneficial to you because you're the one who's here sitting stuck, kind of, you know what I mean? So what else do you want to tell me about this Page of Cups, Ace of Pentacles? Yeah, I feel like this energy, you know, you were waiting on a new start with someone, waiting on something solid to come from this person. And yeah, and I feel like, you know, I think intuitively you know that that's going to take place, but ultimately, so far it feels like what was kind of halting it was maybe not a release. Maybe you weren't really letting go, okay? And that's a crucial part to manifesting new beginnings, to manifesting the things that we want to draw in, is to set the intention, or to release it to the higher power, release it to the universe, so that it can flow effortlessly back to us, or to us. Yeah, Page of Pentacles right there with it. So you were looking for healing. You were looking for an apology. You were looking for something that would solidify, that would actually validate the way you felt all along. So to explain, you were waiting for someone to come tell you, this person to come say, yes, I was wrong. And then the anger and the hurt that you felt all along would be validated, okay? And it's understandable, but it's kind of a trap that we place ourselves into, because we have to know that our feelings are valid, okay? We have to trust that what we're feeling, we're allowed to feel. What we believe is ours to believe. We have to go ahead and move in that. So with this, it does feel like I'm not at the kind of outcome yet, but already I feel like something that you have anticipated, something that you kind of felt was going to happen, is on its way. It is coming through to you. You knew it was going to come. It has taken a long time. It's really tested your patience. And I think that the focus on it really, really made that wait that much harder, okay? So we have the Star card here and the Two of Cups right behind it with the Fool card. So for me, that tells me that something that you've been long waiting for, especially with the Knight of Pentacles, is about to come together. So you're going to exchange dialogue, it's like a heartfelt conversation type of energy here. It's going to get to build. It's going to get to have I want to say fresh start, but for some reason I feel like those are not the right words. It's going to have a new opportunity it's going to have another opportunity. That's the word I want to use. But I think if you have not come to the place where you are readily releasing and readily surrendered to the situation, then this this new opportunity could be a little stressed, okay? It could be a little burdened because you will still be looking at what was. And I think that that's the period that you were in, that cloudy period. It was meant for you to get out of it so that you could see this situation when it comes around in completely new eyes, like with completely new perspective, okay? Sometimes when we sit with what happened in the situation, we're not able to clear our minds and see a newly developed situation, okay? Exactly. Like, I'm going to take all of them because they came, but we have Beyond Illusion, which is technically the Judgment card. But here it talks about it, and I feel like the illusion was that it's not even an illusion. It was really just that cloud, that the focus on those past situations. I mean, I keep wanting to say it a different way, but that's exactly what's being said. With the butterfly here, it's saying that it wanted you to take on the mentality, the energy of the newly developed situation, okay? The trust card is here with the leap, okay? So you can't really take a leap of faith if you're burdened by the past. If you're trying to keep your toes stuck in the past, then you can't really gain the grounding or the footing or the grip to move over into the future, okay? But you have the Success card, and this is the King of Swords. So you do have something here where there's a very clear move into the future, a very clear success here, all right? And I don't get the feeling that, well, I get the feeling that if you do the work to really, truly clear yourself, to really, truly release, to see the higher perspective in this whole thing, that means that there's no blaming, that there's no aggression, that there's no grudges held. We have to be able to see it completely newly, okay? And then that's when you can have success here. So basically release yourself from the cage of the past so that you can kind of move into this more fruitful, more free-flowing energy where everything that you know that you deserved before can now make its way to you. And I just feel, I hear the message, you're not leaping alone this time. So if you feel like, there was unrequited love or something like that in the situation before, that is not the case any longer. That is not the case any longer. You can expect to receive things that you've not received before. Uh-oh. False person card is popping out. Let's see why. I feel like with the false person in the house card here, there is a major foundation that was built. And if you're still sitting with that, it's reiterating the fact that the image that you've had, the image that you've held of a person, or the perspective that you've held about a situation can make for a faulty new foundation, okay? It can create that foundation that's not the most suitable for this new beginning. I have one more card to talk about this false person here. Okay, marriage. All right. So the marriage card is here. Okay, so again, if there is something, if you were waiting for something to end between two people, or if you were wanting to move forward into a commitment, I do too feel like there's a message here regarding what you expect in committed connections. And you've probably owned in on that or honed in on that and are very clear right now about what it is you would want out of a committed connection. Now, there was some things or some false perspectives, okay? False perspectives that and we call them false, but they just don't suit you because they could fit somebody else's situation for sure. But I think over time, you've gotten very clear. And I think that there's been a lot of passion behind the things that you once thought were what you needed, okay? But I think that there has been some unveiling of things for you, unveiling with the moon and the veil here. And then she's kind of hiding her face. There is some things that you may still need to say. I think that you may need to deliver them with compassion and understanding in this new season, okay? This person, I feel like this person who's watching this has not been a very verbal person regarding the situation. I think that you've done a lot of anticipating, a lot of waiting, but I don't think you've talked much or communicated much about this situation to this other person. Maybe you haven't been in communication, but I also don't think that there's been very much discussion in general about this situation. And so now there will be an opportunity for you to speak clearly regarding how this whole situation has played out for you over time. Let's look at some outcome stuff here. Okay. Let's look at some outcomes. Good news. Okay. I love that card. Now, this could be, especially good news with the false person energy here. This could be something, a message that you get, an offer that you receive, and you may still inside of your mind or inside of your spirit expect trouble or conflict out of it, okay? You may still be, working through some of the energy of expecting the worst from situations, you know what I mean? So when this good news comes, do your best to trust that you are definitely in a season of transformation and that this is new energy for you, that you can trust it, that you can move in it and expect great things to come out of it, okay? So I do think that you will feel what is it that I'm trying to say? You will feel something that is going to want to make you stay in the distrusting energy from the past. It's going to want you to continue to reflect on things that have gone on before, the way this person was before, the way your last 10 relationships have been. But this is a very clear indication here that whatever feelings that you're having are illusory, and it's meant for you to feel it and identify them as not real, okay? So that you can be clear on what's real and what's not in this new season, all right? But this feels great. It does feel like, it does feel very mature. It feels like something that you can really plant your feet in and expect exponential growth, okay, from this situation. Okay, I do want to explore a little more with the tea leaf cards and just see kind of what ladder. Climbing towards success. I love it. Pleasure with a close friend. And time to act. Okay. With the lion. All right. Control your anger or you will be sorry is at the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like that's very much an indication of what I was saying before about being very aware of yourself and how you are responding and communicating, especially if you feel like there's still things that you haven't been able to get across and you're ready to get them across now. So make sure to just manage yourself well so that you don't self-sabotage in the situation. The ladder, the lion, and the pleasure with a close friend. I do feel like if an offer is extended to you, then you may be tempted to, even though you've been waiting for it, you may be tempted to pull back a little bit. But I think this is an indication that, one, someone is about to extend an offer to you. Maybe that they want to spend time with you. Maybe they want to have a conversation with you. They just want to take a step closer to you, come a step closer to you. So just be receptive and be open, okay? Okay. Moving on to the King of Swords here. So with the King of Swords, I do feel that this King of Swords, I think that you are more you're a little further out of your smog than group one. I think that the clouds have risen in your situation, so it's kind of like you can see clearly all around you the physical happenings, the resources being made available to you. You can see all of the things that are beginning to kind of flow a little better in your environment. But I also feel like you are very aware that this takes critical management. This time in your life is going to take some very critical management skills, okay? So as all of these things come to you, this really feels more like business, and it could be some romantic or family stuff, but it just feels primarily like business, like opportunities that are coming and you can see them very clearly. And then you're maintaining your awareness of how much you've learned and how you're going to have to integrate and integrate and act upon what you've learned. Okay, implement. That's the word I was looking for. Integrate and implement what you've learned along the way. So with the King of Swords, I do really too feel like that this could be a very important person that you have gained clarity upon, that you have become, it's almost like you've received, okay, I'm saying that wrong, not that you received, but that almost justice has been served, that everything that you saw, this is ill intent perhaps in a person, or even just potential in a person, period, but you saw it and it has manifested itself. So now not only do you see it, but other people are aware as well. Let's see what else they have to say about the King of Swords. I also feel too, you know, with the sun rising here, the clouds are orange in this card, which lets me know that this may have transpired in a less than it wasn't really an expected nature. I feel like with the orange, there's definitely a sense of like creativeness or strangeness about how this all played out. But it was as expected, okay? As expected. I'm seeing the Six of Cups, so that's very much telling me this could be about just something. It could, you know, now I'm picking up that romantic energy before again, but it does feel also that it could be any type of something with a group dynamic, with multiple people working together in something, a project that has once closed and time has passed, and now clarity is even a ruling of some sort. I'm picking up some type of ruling, legal ruling, or decision, policy change, or something like that has come forward after things have been made clear in the situation, after investigation and things like that. So let's see. Investigation, but also, yeah, Queen of Swords is here with it. So this is, I think this is about a teammate of yours. A teammate, again, it could be a romantic partner, but I am picking up more of a supervisor, more of a leadership type of thing. So something where there was some type of misunderstanding, disagreement, even just maybe you suggested a policy change, all of surrounding a situation, and these things are now being put on paper. They're no longer like up for discussion, but now they're being put in paper. Action is being taken, and the Knight of Wands is under here too, so that means that there is movement now forward in a situation that could have been sitting still waiting for some type of ruling, okay? Temperance and the Five of Pentacles, you know, oh, there's the Justice card too, saying, and a Judgment right behind it. So that very much clarifies for me that this is some type of ruling or decision that's being made, that over time, you know, it was difficult for whoever needed to make the decision to piece together all of the information needed, okay? So here, you know, this feels like, you know, after a certain situation, there could be a sense of promotion here, okay? Or partnership. So like a supervisor could bring you up as a partner in a project, in a future project, that could make you their peer rather than their subordinate, by way of promotion. Also, I'm prior military, so the concept of step promotion is coming up to where you kind of jump positions. All right, step promotion. You know, you can skip a rank by going by your supervisor building a package and um, justifying their recommendation for you to move into a higher position or rank. Okay, so there's something here about that as well. So jumping in responsibility, jumping in position, beyond, not just like from where you are to the next step, but even past, maybe a few positions or ranks higher. Okay. Either way, I feel like whatever you offered up, whatever you did, whatever action you took in the situation, whatever advice you gave was well taken, and it just took some time to implement. Yeah, wow. The Master and the Sun card, like it feels like you definitely brought a major change into the environment. Change. You brought a major change into the environment, and now and the Fool card is here at the bottom, so it's kind of set you up. You stepped up, you gave your input, your insight, and now it's progressing you in a very swift manner. Okay, even this card, the Change card, is the Wheel of Fortune, and even this seems like it's a swift movement, very swift with the energy that's being spiraled. So I do feel that there is some sense of you completing something here. You have become the guru. You have become the go-to person in a situation after all pieces of this puzzle have been put together. And I think you provided a very crucial piece to it. What are they call it's a specific name for the position. Oh, process improvement or something like that within the work environment. There was something that you put into place or that you recommended that led to some type of success or led to better order of things. And excuse me, and now you're about to be kind of like skyrocketed to the top. People want to see how much more you have to give here in this situation, and not in a stressful, burdensome way, but in an expansion. They want to offer you room for expansion and growth. Yeah, but the Master card here talks about very much being there's a time of your cloud is gone. Like I feel like I said that they rose to the top, but it just feels like the Master is completion. The Master has completed this whole cycle. In this deck, it's an extra card right after the World card. So that means that all things are now falling into place. You have completed whatever lessons or challenges or whatever have been set before you, and now is the time for your promotion. And I think that not only in not only in work, but in spirit, and in your personal world, everything is about to just kind of swiftly shift. What do we want to show here? The 33 card. So if anybody has Master number 33, I'm hearing with that card popping out, the word says concern on here. But it does feel like that if anybody was worried, if anybody was having doubts about their direction, about their suitedness for a position, if, things were going to play out the way you wanted, I feel like it's on path, because the first thing I thought about when I saw this was Life Path 33. And Life Path 33 is a very significant life path. So like master teacher type of life path, which would make sense with the Master card here. So if you're moving into a training position, if you're moving into a corporate position, even if you're just deciding that you're going to step out on your own and someone is assisting you in doing that because of the potential that you have shown with a project that they've done or that you've assisted them with, this is all coming out to play out and support you and push you in the direction of your life path. Okay. Because the life path person is typically a problem solver. I think that they can be kind of dreamy, but that dreaminess helps you to come up with creative solutions. That helps you heal situations, that any ill balance or lack of results, you can heal. Okay. Poverty, message, and imprisonment. So I do feel like for some of you, for you, there's there is a something that this ruling I feel like you probably okay, so I'm picking up energy like if you had to take off work, if you had to take a break from work while any of this type of decision or something like that was being cleared up. I'm hearing unemployment, so if you had to do different things to kind of get by during this time, then now this is coming through as a you're seeing it as a stroke of luck, but it's kind of like the door opening to this new path, this new beginning. Because it does feel like someone has felt trapped for some time, but I also feel like this is reiterating that finding a way out of no way, that unique perspective that offers a way through. Okay, so you being that messenger, you being that carrier of that certain wisdom, that unique insight that can heal pretty much whatever situation you come to or whatever is brought to you to assist with. This is off, but I get this. I need to say it anyway. Someone might also receive a message about some type of figure, a supervisor, either a father figure or some type of parent figure, who either is no longer qualified or able to perform their duties, or has just in general fallen ill and is going to step down or move aside so that you are the one that moves forward. Okay, so however that plays out for you, but I do feel like there's a sense of something being moved around, something shifting out so that you can move into this new position. Let's look at some outcome energy here. Yeah, surprise or achievement, okay? A prize or reward connected to money. I do feel like very much so that this is some type of promotion for you. Funding even, because I mean, I feel like funding even, when I was talking about maybe somebody seeing the potential that you had and wanted to invest. So that letter could be, that email, anything could be basically correspondence letting you know that you have been chosen to receive a grant or the promotion or whatever the case may be. Now, okay, yeah, I was needing that to come out because I was like, I don't get it. So the strife card, the conflict card, I think that your rise may cause a little bit of tension amongst the people that you currently consider peers, but I feel as well that this is, this wish card tells me how immediate this is, how quickly this is about to transpire. So I think that also, along with the situation transpiring and you moving forward faster than expected, there's also going to be a quick settling to any kind of conflicts or anything that transpire. So whether that be because you just decide you're not going to deal with it and you just shield yourself immediately from it and move on, or people quickly correct themselves, because all of us are in this very quick transformation energy where we're seeing ourselves and then shifting it. So you may be on the positive end of someone else's transformative lesson where they feel a little intimidated, or they feel a little competitive, and then they acknowledge that, and it's quickly eradicated, or it's quickly handled because they're also in their process of healing and progressing, moving into better habits. The love and forgiveness card is at the bottom. This is also telling me that, again, this is a brand new chapter, brand new experiences. I do feel like, too, someone feels like this person, whoever is investing in you or whoever was the decision maker in this situation, definitely feels like you have a special touch, that you offer a unique touch to the situation. The Emperor typically sometimes gives me Midas touch because it is an energy of having control over the elements in the situation, of having that force to make things happen. It's like when someone gives you something, they trust that when they give it to you, it's going to come back gold, it's going to come back whole, it's going to come back at 100%. Okay, so that's beautiful. I feel like this 9898 may be significant for you. If those number patterns are something that have been standing out, any nines, eights, 9898 or 8989, even the number 17, then this is definitely something for you. I just feel that something is about to unfold very, very clearly and very quickly right before your eyes. Let's see. Needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. Don't be tempted to lower your standards. And dealings or relationships with a woman. And then at the bottom, success assured with good plans and hard work. Yes, see, this is why I very much feel like this is speaking to you moving forward. You move. Now, this woman card may be you, but it also may be that coworker I'll just put it out there. Whether that be, I don't think that this is the supervisor or the person who has faith in you. I feel like this may be the opposing energy. And it could, I feel like it could be the opposing energy. But I think that this person in their energy is sweetening to you. So you should see a change there. With the needle and thread and the do not be tempted to lower your standards, I really feel like this flag stands out because as you are pushed forward, the tendency of not feeling worthy, not feeling prepared, not expecting it, so not really knowing how to deal with it. Don't box yourself in. Allow yourself to take to explore these possibilities, these new developments, and know that you are being divinely guided into purpose. Okay, what is the saying? God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called. So anything that you're put in the position to do, if you are open and receptive to learning, to expanding, to stretching for it, then you are totally capable and can have success in it. Okay. Lastly, let's look at the Chariot. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, just as I thought. The Chariot here, this person, you were having a hard time just choosing a direction in general. I don't think that there was an energy of not or picking a bad one or the good one. I think that you were straddling between two things. So you were attempting to do both things. Both things have served you well, but I think that in general, there was time to let one thing go completely and move forward into the new thing or the other. So if you have a full-time job and you started a business and you were reluctant to walk away from the full-time job, even though your new business has already been showing so much promise, I think that now you have mastered balance, which was, maintaining the job and pursuing the new business endeavor. Now you can decide to move forward in one direction or the other, okay? And I think that now that the smoke has cleared a little bit, you can see that there's no need to hold on to what I really, let's see, this is a job or a person. You could be someone who was holding on to two people as well. I felt the need to say that. But also, I need to say, in the perspective of spirituality, I think that some of you may have been finding balance between ideals, which was beautiful, because with the Cancer, with the Chariot card, that's Cancer energy. So that's your emotions. That's trying to balance out your inner world, your spirit world. That's trying to bring some sense of togetherness, okay? Some sense of unitedness between all aspects of you, all right? But I do feel like in this situation, and the message that's more heavily coming through, is that there was an element of 1 foot here, 1 foot there, and needing to decide for yourself to go ahead and put 2 feet down on one side or the other, okay? Because both of these are white, both of the dogs are white, and typically there's a black one and a white one. There was no necessarily negative between the two. It was just about whether you were ready or not to go ahead and move in one direction or the other, all right? I just heard easy street. I don't know why I heard that, but there's something here about working smarter, not harder. And I think if you trusted and put the energy that was being invested in the older endeavor and just say, okay, I'm going to put it all now into this one, it's going to be just as successful as you expected it to be. And everything's going to be just fine. So let's develop on this a little bit. Yeah, there's on the bottom of the deck, the 7 Wands, which means you were resisting change. You were resisting the move forward, I think. And I feel like it was just not feeling prepared to fully take that leap. I don't think that you expected any like heartbreak or you expected to fail or anything like that. I just think that you were trying to find out or feel sure enough in the idea that it was well grounded enough, whether your foundation was stable enough, whether you had enough saved, whether you had done enough networking, whether, you know, things were going to support you the way you need them to support you. Can we clarify the Chariot here? Queen of Wands. But I think that the smog that is cleared is now allowed some of your confidence and willpower to just push through. With the Queen of Wands, very confident energy. So any teeter-tottering was really more about just not being confident that it was the right time. Not being confident in the work that you had kind of already put in to the previous, into the newer project. 2 of Swords is here, King of Swords, High Priestess, and the Lovers, meaning that all aspects of this have really come together now, and you kind of, you know it, but I think that you believe it, but you need to know it in order to move forward. You believe it, but you need to know it in every aspect, in every cell of your being. Know it and just move forward. Stand in it and just move it. Trust that what you've put in now, you've planted the proper seeds and it's going to grow, okay? Everything is going to be taken care of. The 2 of Swords and the Chariot, they're both giving me that same energy there, where it's talking about kind of choosing not to move one way or the other and kind of taking on all of it instead of choosing one thing or the other, okay? The 3 of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles does tell me that, again, that confidence is taking some time to get to that place of confidence, but now I feel like you're ready. And I think that the moment you do this, you'll see reason for celebration. I think that there'll be positive outcome almost immediately. And I think that your strategy of kind of teetering did help. But now it's time for you to release one thing or the other so that you can move forward and truly celebrate a little more lighthearted, a little more time for play, a little more time for leisure, and not to be so bogged down between 2 things. What else do we want to say here about this Chariot energy? Completion. Yes, you put the pieces together. New vision. And the Source. Oh my gosh. Come on now. And then the 8 of Pentacles, or ordinariness, which lets me know that the work that you've put in has now begun. It's going to be blooming. It's almost like you've been putting in the work, and although we're in fall and everybody else is planting their seeds, now you're in the season of receiving the bounty. You're receiving things, clarity. You're receiving indication that everything is going to be fine. You're flowering in this moment while everybody else is getting ready to go into hibernation. Okay. Completion is the world, okay? I do feel like there's definitely There's definitely a energy here of letting you know that you have everything. Everything is going to fall into place as you take each step. I'm currently in this energy myself of knowing that I've taken certain leaps and made certain decisions. They've been scary and they're still scary, but the pieces are falling into place and everything is playing together to to show you that this vision that you had is now ready to be birthed. Okay. And this source card always looks like an embryo and like sperm to me. I don't know why. So it just looks like something being fertilized, and this is the Ace of Wands, meaning that new passionate beginning, that the all of the energy that has been fed into it has now burst into a flame, and it's burning. It's burning bright, okay? And I really want there's um there's just this energy of moving out of hanged man, moving out of stillness. Now you can move into action, full force action, because because all players are in position to make whatever this is a success. Okay, all players are in position to make this a success for you. Courthouse. Wow, great fortune. Yeah, so if you were worried about monies, if you were worried about your um adjudication and courthouse came out together, this does let me know that something about you taking authority in the situation right now is really going to benefit you. You really being the decision maker for yourself, whether or not you're going to move forward and allow this new positive beginning to take place. I don't think that it's I don't think it's full on resistance. I just think that you're trying to make sure that all things are in order. I also feel like for this person, especially if you're an entrepreneur or working with in partnerships with other organizations, you're going to need to pay particular attention to your contracts, to your paperwork, okay? I think that if you don't have contracts, if you don't have explanations of your services, things like that, that's something that you really should nail down in this new energy as you move forward. It doesn't seem like it's going to cause too much issues, but I think that too many issues, but I think that with the great fortune here, there's a need to make sure that you're dotting your I's and don't allow your need for perfectionism to halt you from moving forward. But just know that the same attention to detail that you've been giving this project from its birth or from its conception, you can continue to give it and pay particular attention to contracts and dealings right now, okay? Contracts and dealings between organizations, between people. Either way, this does let me know that there is a favoring that's over this new thing, a favoring over it. So not only was this given to you as an idea, but it was almost destined for you to do, if I can say so. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, there's the partnerships that I was talking about. There's some they're going to be a great match for you. I think that it's definitely going to take just a little bit of attention to make sure, he's kind of giving me Page of Swords energy here. So there's definitely going to need to be some attention given to the agreements so that good partnerships don't turn into bad partnerships by lack of information, by lack of attention to detail. I think that these are partnerships and contracts that definitely are good, very good, very good. I think that there just needs to be a very clear, message delay. There's needs to be a very clear indication of everybody's roles, of pay, of what's expected of this person and that person. Very clear outlined things so that good energy is not polluted by misunderstanding or breach of contracts and things like that. So that's that. Let's see what else the tea leaf have to add to this group. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. So yeah, even if you do end up in some tight situations with legal documents and stuff. Oh, someone is getting a message. There's two messages that came in. The message of concern and then the message delay card was here. So I do feel like this is a good message. Oh, a pathway to money is waiting for you to find it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so with the tent here saying that this is a temporary situation, you have the eagle telling you that you're going to triumph over these troubles or obstacles, and then the good luck card. Again, remember when I said that this almost seems like it was destined. Great fortune. It was destined for this to take place. All of these things were kind of already lined up and waiting for you to come into alignment to meet them there. So now all players are in position. And when you get this letter, it seems right on time. You know, it's like, oh, I was just thinking about this, or I just had a dream about leaving this situation, this other situation behind. And you'll get this letter or this communication, and it'll be the synchronicity or the indication that you needed, that, whew, I can go ahead and fly forward. I can take this leap. Okay. I want to work with the Work Your Light Oracle for messages of advice and guidance moving forward. I'm just going to give general messages for the groups. So if you've stayed and listened, by all means, take them. Take all of them. Take one of them. Either way. What message of guidance and support do we have regarding these three messages here, these three spreads here? Yeah, I saw you're already doing it. So someone needs to know that you're already on path. No need to be concerned about what everything looks like. No illusions. Don't let any illusions deter you right now. So while I'm waiting for this message, I'm just going to tell you a story real quickly that happened to me. I finally got into a position. During my break, I've been doing a lot of kind of just letting things kind of fall into place for myself. My daughter and I went to Belize for 3 weeks in October. And we just took the leap. We just went and hung out. We got a room, played, ate, didn't do anything super extravagant, but we just enjoyed being somewhere else for a few weeks. Now, while I was gone and before I left, actually, I listed my house for sale with no plan about what we're going to do next. Just listed it for sale because that's what I felt like I was supposed to do. A week after returning from Belize, we have a buyer for our house. I'll take that one. We have a buyer for our house, and we literally had to clear our house within 3 days. So I didn't have a car either, so I got onto the ball ordering a car. That car was delivered 1 day before the house closed. Everything went fine. Got out of the house. Didn't have anywhere to donate to sell my furniture or store it, so I just donated it all to Goodwill, under the idea that I guess I'm supposed to just release it all since I don't have anything to do with any of it. So we moved forward and we're transitioning via basically living out of the car. And then my down payment for the car didn't process. So now I'm looking around for it, trying to put that together. My daughter's teacher, she's homeschooled, but her homeschool instructor asked us, she said, I hope I'm not overstepping my boundaries. But if you guys need anything, any connection to any resources, just let me know. And I'm like, okay, great, thanks. And I started crying, and all of a sudden we're talking about just these things that I've been seeing as just, obstacles to get over, but they're still heavy, So her husband, basically, long story short, her husband decided that he and his organization were going to pay my down payment for my car, which was $1,100. And so that's settled. Everything has just been falling into place with little to no movement from myself. So I hope all I've been doing is just needing to take the steps and trust that what's being offered to me or what's been laid in front of me is solid. Okay. And I hope that me sharing that does help somebody, because I hadn't been for a long time in a place of just being able to trust that things were going to work out for me. And now I'm there. Like, it's just continuing to show me over and over again, things are always working for me. Things are always working for my good. So these messages of support and encouragement, we have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. Okay. So in alignment with group one, all those feelings that you felt, all those insights that you had, all the things that you expected in that love situation, they were true. You were being guided. But also there is a general message for whoever may be listening of someone may feel like they're walking a solitary path right now. You may feel the need to retreat a bit, to walk alone right now. But just know that everything is supporting you, that your steps, one by one, are being guided. As you take a step, ground is being built under your feet. That's how significant your path is right now to the universe, to God. Like, everything that you're doing right now matters. And so, I think that makes me feel very special to know that when I take a leap of faith, every step that I take forward, there's a team there building ground for me to land on when my foot hits. When my foot lands, there's something there because the whole team is working in the background to make sure of it. All right. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Again, I think it totally resonates with group 3 or group 2, because there's that higher perspective that you hold, and I don't think that creative thinking can be separated from channeling or from, I think this is that Tesla energy where nobody knows where you're getting those concepts from, but they make sense and they work and they do make situations better. They do improve technology. They do improve processes. So I think that there's a sense here about you being able to definitely be open and receptive to higher wisdom and higher guidance that you are able to translate here into processes, and you can explain it very well. That's one thing as well. You can explain it and break it down very well. So I think that here it's kind of like a confirmation for you that you are unique. That whatever is being offered to you in this time as a reward for your insight, your work, it was divinely guided. It was definitely part of your mission to increase or expand people's perspective, increase people's faith, to uplift, to expand dynamics of situations. That's part of your mission. And then the other is channeling. Many people don't think about it, but when you can just spout out creative ideas, when you can just pop up a solution to a problem, yes, some of that comes from your own wisdom and learning, but a lot of it comes from divine inspiration, which channeling is a divine, you translate and you transmute, or not transmute, but what's the word? Broadcasting almost. You're receiving it and you broadcast it out as an idea, as a suggestion. So that's that. Continue to have faith in what you're putting out. When you open your mouth, have faith that the words that are coming from your mouth they are inspired and given to you from higher wisdom. Okay, and they have a place, and I think that that's important to say. They have a place here. Okay, the last group, play. Have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. Again, there's definitely an energy of you when you decide that you're going to go one way and just kind of put all your energy into this new thing that you've been working on. Again, you're going to find that there's more time for you to take care of yourself, more time for you to enjoy. I do think that the play card and the 3 of Cups kind of play the same energy. It's letting you know that now is a time for you to just go ahead and enjoy what you've built up. Enjoy this leap. Enjoy not knowing how everything is going to play out. Enjoy trusting that everything is going to be okay, though. Okay, the take a break card is actually at the bottom, and I just noticed that, so I'm just going to take that as further confirmation for this card, is that this is going to develop over your lifetime, and you've been developing it for lifetimes. So take it easy. Know that everything's going to fall into place. Everything is coming together as it's meant to be. I also feel like, too, this is an indication that somebody might be invited on some type of business outing, like an investors convention, or no, I don't know what people do these days, but some type of group or coming together of like-minded individuals. And you're not only coming together for work, you're coming together to network, build friendships, build partnerships, and you should really enjoy it that way. Okay, you should really enjoy it that way. So I think that that's everything. I do want to tell you all, thank you so much again. If you need to book personal readings or distance healing sessions, the link is going to be in my description box. If you happen to need to look at it before I get this video uploaded or before I finish getting it uploaded, then just go click the description box in another video, and all the information is there. All right. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for your patience.